So I thought a peer was like anybody with lived experience with substance use, but it also can mean people with lived experience that are doing the work of harm reduction.
Hi.
Louise!
Hello,
Louise! Woo! The busiest.
This is our safe supply, my safe supply colleague, Louise Wana. She is the angel of Quesnel. So we are the peers, and we rely on ourselves and our peers to do this work because we're the experts and we know what we need. I believe that we have the capacity and the knowledge to do it right and to fill the gaps that the systems aren't filling.
Do you want to look at these?
Oh, it looks so good.
I think in this rural and remote setting, it's complex in many ways because it's new to peers even peers are like, what's peer engagement? It's like a foreign concept. We're leveraging people's expertise and allowing people to find what feeds their soul.
I was going to meetings and stuff, I think, with CSUN, and that's where the call came about the needle syringes that the city was and businesses were complaining about. And I just had this idea, like, why aren't we hiring people that are unemployed and have a hard time getting a job anywhere else, like give those people opportunity to make some money and at the same time get the community to look at us differently.
These are days I need to get up before the stores open downtown. Probably 7 o'clock. I'm hitting the bricks. All the people on the street, I know them, they know me, I respect them, and they respect me. Sometimes you have to harp at them and just clean up after yourself, and it helps everyone, helps the community, helps them, and takes pressure off them, and just like I said, take the village.
There's a lot of guilt and a lot of shame behind substance use, and I think by empowering drug users, naturally and authentically, we create community members. And to be a part of a community that requires having a home and having somewhere to go at the end of the day, so that we can do those, those normal things in society, like hold jobs and even follow normal social norms as far as not having to steal or cheat or lie or be involved in criminal activity because of the shame of your drug use. Actually seeing how much growth there's been as far as peer work and being able to comfortably identify as someone with lived experience has been such like an exhilarating feeling that like every day I'm just filled with passion just to go out and like tell my story to everyone and hope that people can see, kind of a way out of the darkness that's been created for them.
Come here, you little bugger. I was very traumatized when I first came off the streets, and I was scared to meet people. I was scared to be around men. I couldn't be out after dark. Even the daytime, I had like panic attacks going into stores. So gradually, the clean team kind of got me out of my shell. I actually met Charlene years ago. I always wondered, like I wanted to get back in touch with her because I knew she was doing harm reduction, but I just was kind of too chicken to. And then when I re-met her, doing that clean team and stuff, it was just like, she just lit my fire.
The grant allowed us to further move forward some of those peer engagement pieces. And we were at a really pivotal point with CSUN. The funding there really allowed us to engage community members who have never done this work before and found power and purpose in being part of this process and part of this work. And we've expanded greatly since then. For years before, I never finished anything. I didn't finish school. I didn't think I was smart. I was raised kind of in an abusive home and stuff. So realizing all that stuff and gaining that confidence and stuff, this work has helped with immensely. It's changed my whole life.
Oh.
A peer is a person with that has done drugs in the past or present, or right, And I'm a user myself right now, so I'm functioning, so which is good. I can hold down a job. I have an apartment. I've got pets. I can pay my bills, and not all my money goes to my addiction, thankfully. Yeah. Here you go. Thank you. You're welcome. I work with the Northern Peers outreach program with the mobile unit and handing out food for some of the clients and supplies there. Handed them out for the units that are for the COVID and the people that overflow from the Seasons house to stay there as well. Some of the people, how the smiles on their face, how grateful they are for what we're doing for them and stuff. You know, that's what gets me going for the job. There you go. Hey, Ben. So which numbers are we at? Oh. Oh, that window's still broken. There's your lunch. You want some snacks too? Yeah. There, and you want some snacks? Help you pick something out of there?
You already do like this.
Oh yeah, cereal every time. Well, I've noticed that with street people, we call it addicts or users. I came from the streets, so I know them, right? And so we have that bond, and we're like a small family. Because I know if just the social workers or the outreach workers showed up at a person's house, they wouldn't open the door for just a random one of them. Because the peers, we all know each other because we've gotten them indoors that they probably would never been able to.
From the beginning, it was apparent that the drugs or the substance is a big issue, and we need to address that issue. But I think the more time I spend, drugs become less of an issue. You realize it's such a small part of what's going on in this person's life. When I see a patient now, the substance use is why they're there. I think they're there, they think they're there, but it's really the bigger issue is how do we address this underlying trauma to really help this person live a healthier life.
I use it because I have acromegaly, and that's why I use opiates, because the doctors won't help me out. So I'm always in pain with the acromegaly, right? So that's why I started using. They won't prescribe anything strong enough for the pain in my body. They just, because I'm an addict. So, yeah, because I'm a known addict, yeah.
They have a better understanding about substance use and a lifestyle that I can read in books and I can get from experience with talking to patients, but I haven't lived through it. They will often just explain things a lot better than I can, and then they can explain patients' experiences to me a lot better than sometimes the patient can, because they don't always have the right words in that moment. But peers have gone through this a few times, so they've really learned what patients are saying and know how to translate it back to me in a sense. So over the years, a lot of trust has been lost in the medical system. Patients feel stigmatized, they feel left out, they don't trust care providers, they feel unsafe with some care providers, unfortunately, and peers help to bridge that gap.
We always seem to only be celebrating people who are abstinent. And it's like, tell us about the piece of shit that you were, and but end your great story in today I'm sober. And it's like people who actively use substances couldn't possibly contribute anything worthy to the design, delivery, and development of services or any of that. It's like we know what the system looks like for us. We know what we need. We know how to make effective change. I think the reality is still that we're not taken seriously, that we don't seem to have any validity. And it's that, I mean, they talk, we die. I would like the moment of silence to be in reflection of those who have experienced overdose, those who have lost their lives to overdose, and those who are still at high risk for overdose. in reflection of that moment of silence.
So the silver one is for decriminalization, and this one is for overdose awareness.
Their laughter is around us like someone is singing. One day they are learning to walk and talk. Our heart swells with pride. The next they are gone in the blink of an eye, without any chance to say goodbye. How does a parent survive this loss? Sisters, brothers, cousins, and friends. When will this policy failure fucking end? Our hearts are broken every day. Another loved one gone, passed away. The fear is real, I can't sleep. When all my fucking friends are being buried in the deep.
You know, imposing on people who use substances that we're not capable of making decisions for ourselves. And the system has also inherently said, don't give drugs to drug users. The reality still is that they don't think that we know what we need for ourselves, and they want to fix us. And so my fear is that we're going to keep doing this work and keep fighting. And like I said, we're going into the 5th year anniversary of the crisis with no tangible change. We're putting Band-Aids on bullet holes. We talk about compassion fatigue, and for me, it's not compassion fatigue, it's battle fatigue. You know, you got to put that armor on every day, and every day we have to worry about who's going to be dead next. And feel like our hands are tied, and there's not a lot we can do. And we just got to wait to see who's next and how you're going to deal with it.